Alright, I promised you guys a Scream video, so here we are. We got a few of the Scream 7 stars talking about the movie, including David Arquette, so let's get into it. I'm Pamela, welcome back to the channel. So, like I said, we got quite a few Scream 7 stars talking about the movie, and today we are going to start off with Michelle Randolph. She is an actress who joined the cast pretty late. We found out about her literally like a couple days before filming Wrapped in March, and we don't really have any character details about her. We don't know her character name, we don't know what her role is. But she did do an interview pretty recently where she was talking about Scream 7. This was like a few weeks ago, and I wasn't really going to even do a video on it, but just the fact that we're going to talk about some other quotes from the cast, I figured I will throw this in there. So Michelle Randolph said, "I've seen every single Scream, so there was a lot of pressure to make sure we keep the audience happy. I had a really redacted script at first, but then I was able to read it, and there were still certain parts that were completely left blank." So I do think that that is pretty interesting, because obviously it would not be a Scream video of mine if I did not bring up Stu Macher. You guys know I think Stu is alive and will be revealed as the leader of the Ghostface cult in Scream 7. We do know that Matthew Lillard is back, but there's still a debate of whether or not Stu is dead and just a flashback or some kind of hallucination or something, or if he's alive. I think he's going to be alive, and it's one of those things where how do you stop it from getting leaked? I do think that that is why they announced Matthew Lillard's return, because, you know, they were probably worried about photos on set getting leaked. If we would have found out that he was in the movie and they hadn't announced it, that would have completely sucked. So the fact that Michelle Randolph said that she was able to read the entire script, but there were still certain parts that were left completely blank, I think that's because they want to keep as many people in the dark as possible. You know, if Stu's coming back in that final act for that Ghostface reveal, then certain actors who might not be in the final act don't need to know about it. I mean, in my opinion, I think Michelle Randolph has like victim written all over her. I think she's probably not even going to have that much screen time. She's probably just there to kind of add to the kill count. So I don't think she's making it to the final act. And if that's the case, and if Stu's coming back alive, she doesn't need to know about it, because that would just make more people out there who know that Stu is alive and risk a leak happening. So I just thought that that quote from her was interesting. But now let's move on to Anna Camp. We know that she is playing somewhat of a significant role in the movie. We don't quite know what her character is, but there's rumors that she is Sydney's neighbor / friend. I think that she's going to be playing Leslie Macher, Stu's sister, but of course we don't know anything for sure. But she was a part of those initial casting announcements pretty early on. And you know, she's posted some like behind the scenes stuff. So I do think that she is going to be in a big chunk of the movie. And she was just on the Today Show to promote the new season of Netflix's You. And she of course was asked about Scream 7. And she said, "The first movie that I ever went to a movie theater on a date was Scream 1. So to be on set and to be acting with Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox and meet these icons and Kevin Williamson, it was an absolute dream come true. And I know that fans are going to be very happy, very scared, and they're going to probably be screaming in their seats."
So to be on set and be acting with Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox, I mean, these icons, and Kevin Williamson, it was an absolute dream come true. And I know that fans are going to be very happy, very scared, and they're going to probably be screaming in their seats.
So I just love that. You know, she said it was a dream come true. I think we could all relate to that if any of us got the chance to be in the movie or work on the movie or just be around these actors. It would absolutely be a dream come true. So I love that she is like a longtime fan. It's so cool that she saw the original movie in the theaters, and the fact that she gets to work on the 7th installment, I'm just super happy for her. Obviously the fact that she says fans are going to be very happy has me so excited. Now I do think a bigger portion of the fan base does want Stu to come back. You know, I've been here on YouTube talking about Stu for the past 2 years, even longer than that on my TikTok account, and I can just see that the general consensus is that most people want Stu to be alive. There obviously are many people who don't want him to be alive, but the people who want him to be alive like far exceed those who don't. You know, I've done numerous polls as well, and every time Stu is alive wins. So I'm hoping that the fact that she says fans will be happy, hopefully she is talking about the Stu is alive believers. Now we have to talk about David Arquette. He was just on the show Access Daily, and I put it on my TV just for background noise. I did not even know that he was on the show, but I turned it on and there he was, and of course he was asked about Scream 7. They asked him, have you filmed it yet, or are you going to film it? And his response was pretty interesting. David Arquette said it was supposed to be a surprise, and there was a spoiler report.
Have you already shot Scream 7, or are you about to shoot?
It was supposed to be a surprise, but there was a spoiler report. But yeah, I got to work with Kevin Williamson.
Now, I honestly cannot tell if he is kidding or not, because he was laughing when he said this. But he honestly might have just been laughing because they were previously talking about his mustache and how he sometimes sports the mustache look. So they might have just been laughing about that, and this statement that he said is true. Like, it was going to be a surprise, but there was some kind of spoiler report. So then I guess they chose to officially announce it, which I could see actually being true. You know, when it came to Skeet Ulrich's appearance in Scream 5, that was kept a secret. They did not announce that. And with Scream 7, obviously, we got the official announcement with Matthew Lillard, Scott Foley. But like I said earlier, I think that is to get ahead of the leaks. They know that these days it's so hard to keep things under wraps. So maybe with David Arquette's return, that kind of got leaked. And once it was sort of floating around the internet, they chose to just officially announce it. Something else in this little interview, they said, I thought you died. And he said, it's a long story.
Wait, I thought you died.
It's a long story. Not at liberty to discuss certain things.
So obviously, you know, we know that Dewey died, but he's coming back somehow. I think it's going to be a flashback. Of course, it could be a hallucination, a dream sequence, maybe the whole AI theory that people are kind of running with. We don't know in what capacity he's coming back, so obviously he can't reveal it. So that's what he means by it's a long story. He can't just straight up tell us how he's coming back. But, you know, when it came to the Matthew Lillard announcement, I was kind of bummed that they told us. I really wanted to be so surprised in the theater. Obviously, I'm over the moon that he's back, but I wish it would have remained a surprise. But once we found out about Matthew Lillard, I was so excited. And then once they announced David Arquette's return, I was like, all right, why are we doing this? Like, let's leave some surprises. Can you imagine sitting in that theater, knowing that we're going to see Stu Macher somehow, and then to also have Dewey pop up and like not even be expecting it? That would have been amazing. So I kind of think this statement from him is true. There was some kind of spoiler report, so it was supposed to be a surprise. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. And then I'll also just throw in this video. Lyanna Liberata, who plays Quinn Bailey in Scream 6, this was about a month ago. She was kind of asked about Scream 7, just if she's going to watch it. And she said, oh my god, yeah, I'm so excited and I'm curious how everyone is going to come back around. I've been a fan of the franchise for a very long time, so I'll definitely be watching. You and me both, Lyanna. I cannot wait to find out how everyone is making a comeback. You know, Roman's dead. He was shot in the head. I think it's all going to be mostly flashbacks. At least I'm hoping. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people think they're going to do the whole AI thing, which I'm not crazy about. Obviously, it could work if it's done well, but I'm hoping more for flashbacks. And then lastly, I will also throw in something with Jenna Ortega. She did an interview a couple weeks ago at this point, I think. She was asked about leaving Scream 7 and like what happened with all of that. We all know the drama that happened over a year ago. Melissa Barrera was fired, and then like just a couple days after that, Jenna Ortega quit. And at the time, they told us that it was because of scheduling issues, but I honestly never believed that. It was so obvious that it had to do with Melissa being fired. So there is a little drama that went on a couple weeks ago as well, because Jenna Ortega initially said about her leaving Scream 7, it had nothing to do with pay or scheduling. The Melissa stuff was happening and it was all kind of falling apart. If Scream 7 wasn't going to be with that team of directors and those people I fell in love with, then it didn't seem like the right move for me in my career at the time. But then apparently, like, later that day or the next day, if you went back to the article with the interview, that part was removed. If I'm remembering correctly, this was a couple weeks ago and I tried to read about it, but there was so much going on. And then Christopher Landon had an interview promoting his new movie Drop. And he said that when he signed on to direct Scream 7, he was told that Jenna Ortega was already out, which means that she was out before the whole Melissa Barrera firing thing. So I don't even know what the hell is going on with that. It was all kind of confusing. I wonder if we will ever know the truth. And then I heard that apparently before Melissa Barrera was fired, when Sam was still going to be in the movie, they were going to kill off Tara. And Sam would have like sought out revenge for that. But I don't know. I just wanted to throw it in this video so maybe we could talk about it a little bit down in the comments, but definitely let me know your thoughts. Also, let me know your thoughts on some of the other quotes we got from some of the Scream 7 cast, David Arquette, Anna Camp, and Michelle Randolph. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for tuning into another video. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on everything Scream 7. As we start to maybe get some more news, updates, you can definitely expect it to be posted here. Please also go follow me over on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and I will see you guys next time.